Hello everyone, welcome back. So in the previous video, we were actually distinguishing between the different messages that were being shown inside of our list view. And now in this video, we are just going to actually tinker with the styling a bit more. So without anything further to do, let's get into it. So before we get going, what I would like to do is I would actually like to show you what our actual design looks like. So if I open up our actual design files, I'll bring them here. You're going to see that this is what our actual design currently looks like. So what I'm going to do is, firstly, I'm going to add the actual ability for us to actually show these user images right alongside with the messages that are not by us. And after that, we'll also, in the process of doing that, fix some of the padding issues that we have and other stuff like that. So without anything further to do, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to add a bit of padding to the actual children inside of our list view. To do that, what we'll do is that we are actually going to wrap the actual widget that we have being returned inside of our list view.builder inside of a padding widget. Right now we have an actual text message bubble being returned, so I'll copy this text message bubble and I'm going to add a padding widget, and then this padding widget is going to have a child which will be our text message bubble. I'm going to add a semicolon. I'm going to do Alt-Shift-F. And then I'm going to add the padding now. And the padding is going to be edge-and-sets.symmetric. Or the padding is going to be edge-and-sets dot and then only. And we'll have from the bottom only. So we'll do bottom and then we'll do 10. With that, I'm going to do Alt-Shift-F, Command, Save. And now hopefully the children should have a bit of padding in between each other. Okay, so with that done, the next thing we are going to do is that we are going to actually now work towards displaying the actual user's image right alongside our actual chat. So let's get into it. So the way we're going to do this is that we're going to treat the image as a separate part from our text message bubble. And we are going to have these two children inside of a row because we want the children to be one after another in a horizontal fashion. So what we'll do for that is that for our padding child, I'm going to copy our actual text message bubble. And instead of this, I'm going to add a row for the child. Then the row is going to have some children, and the children are going to be our actual text message bubble. I'm going to add a comma, and I'll do Alt-Shift-F, Command, Save. Okay, so now with one of the children defined, I'll define the cross-axis alignment, which would be cross-axis alignment.n. Then we'll define the actual main axis size, which will be main axis size.max. So main axis size, and then dot maximum. And finally, we'll define the main axis alignment and that would be main axis alignment. And for now, what we can do is that we can do start and we'll come back to this. Okay, so with that, I'm just going to reload our app, make sure nothing gets broken, come back and click, and yeah, nothing's broken. Okay, so with that, the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm noticing that the function is becoming really cluttered. So I'm going to create a new widget function that is going to return our actual message. So I'm going to call this our message list view child. And for this, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to return, and what I'm going to return, well, I'm going to return everything in between the padding widget. So just copy this and paste this here. And with that, we can do Alt-Shift-F. But before that, we need these three things. So for that, what I can do is that I can just set in the actual attribute, so is own message, and then we'll also have an actual message that gets sent in, and we'll just call this our underscore message. And then what I'll have to do is that I'll have to go to the top, I'll have to import our actual message model, so /models, and then message, do Alt-Shift-F, Command, Save, come down to the actual function now, and everything should be fixed. So now what I'm going to do is that for our child, I'm going to just set that equal to our underscore message list view child, and then I'll send in the is own message as one of the parameters, and the message itself, I'll do the semicolon, I'll do Alt-Shift-F, Command, Save, and hopefully we shouldn't get any errors. Just reload the app, make sure that we don't get any errors. Okay, so with that, now what we'll do is that we'll go to our actual row inside of our message list view child, and to a row we'll add a new container, and this container is going to actually show our user's image. So for that, what I'll do is that firstly I'll create a new widget, and I'll call that our actual user image widget. And what I'm going to do is that I am going to, for here, actually return a fairly simple container. And this container is going to be really simple. So I'm just going to copy and paste the code here. And then for the image radius, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to copy this line of code. And so we'll have a double, which will get the devices. I'd multiply that with 0.05. And then finally, what we'll need is that our actual image for the user. So for that, what we can do is that we can do this dot widget dot and then conversation, and then we'll have the receiver image as you saw. So we can do Alt-Shift-F, Command save, and after that we can take this user image widget and we can add this here after our row, and we can do Alt-Shift-F, Command save. So now the image is shown, but you're seeing that the image gets shown for both the message that we sent as well as the message sent by the other user, and that's not what we want, because if I open our design files, the image is only shown for the other user. So for that, what we can do is that we can employ a tertiary statement, and what we can do is that we can check to see is own message. If it is not our own message, so I'm just going to add a not here, then we'll show our actual user image widget, and if it is our own message, then we'll just show an empty container. You can't return null, that's going to give you an error, so we'll just use an empty container, and as you saw, that fixes our error, or that fixes our issue. The next thing that we need to do is that we have to move these different chat bubbles to different sides of our actual list view, because we want our messages to start from the right side and the other user's messages to start from the left side. And for that, all we would have to do is that for our main axis alignment, we would have to check to see if this is our own message or not. So in the case that it is our own message, what we are going to do is that we are going to set the main axis alignment to N, and in the case that it is not our own message, then we'll set our main axis alignment to start, not space evenly, dot start, and with that we can do Alt-Shift-F, Command save. Okay, so the last thing we're going to do is that we're going to add some padding to the children inside of our list view.builder from like the left and the right and the top sides. And to do that, what we would have to do is that we would have to go to our actual list view.builder, and then inside of here we would have a padding attribute. And then for our padding attribute, what we're going to do is that we are going to set that equal to add-insets.symmetric, and I'm just going to paste this in. It's going to be horizontal 10, vertical 20. I'm going to do Alt-Shift-F, Command save, and you're going to see that that now adds some padding to our actual list views content. So with that, we are now displaying the messages appropriately in a good fashion. And now in the next video, we are actually going to work towards actually creating the text field that is going to allow us to actually post some messages to Firebase. So without anything further to do, I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Peace.